Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a really fascinating topic. We often hear about the physical advantages men have in sports, things like bone density, muscle mass, and lung capacity. And yes, in many sports like sprinting or weightlifting, those differences play a huge role. But what if I told you there are sports and athletic events where women consistently outperform men? It's not about one gender being better than the other. It's about how different bodies are uniquely suited for different challenges. So, let's explore some incredible sports where women have a distinct, scientifically backed advantage. First up, let's talk about ultra-endurance swimming. Specifically long-distance open water swims like crossing the English Channel. This is one of the most grueling tests of human stamina on the planet. The water is freezing, the currents are brutal, and you're swimming for hours, sometimes even days. Here, women don't just compete with men, they often dominate. Why? A key factor is body fat percentage. Women naturally have a higher body fat percentage, which isn't a disadvantage here, it's a superpower. This extra layer provides better insulation against the cold water, helping to prevent hypothermia, which is a major reason swimmers have to quit. It also increases buoyancy, meaning women can float more easily and conserve energy over these immense distances. Just look at the record books. The fastest ever crossing of the English Channel in 3 directions, a triple crossing, was set by Sarah Thomas. It took her over 54 hours. That's more than 2 full days of non-stop swimming. Her incredible feat showcases how female physiology is perfectly adapted for this extreme endurance challenge. Next, let's move from the water to the land and talk about ultramarathons. These aren't your standard 26.2-mile marathons. We're talking about races that are 50, 100, or even hundreds of miles long, often over treacherous mountain terrain. While men are typically faster over shorter distances, something amazing happens as the race gets longer and longer. The performance gap between men and women starts to shrink, and in the longest races, it can even disappear or reverse. One major reason is how our bodies use fuel. Men's bodies are generally better at using carbohydrates for quick bursts of energy. But in an ultramarathon, you need sustained energy for days. Women's bodies, on the other hand, are more efficient at burning fat for fuel. Fat is a much more abundant energy source than carbohydrates, so women are less likely to hit the wall or experience a sudden energy crash. Their metabolism is simply better suited for the long haul. A great example is Courtney Dauwalter, an absolute legend in the ultrarunning world. In 2017, she won the Moab 240 a 240-mile race outright, finishing 10 hours ahead of the second-place finisher, who was a man. She didn't just win the women's category, she beat everyone. And she's not alone. Women like Jasmine Perez have won incredibly tough races like the 268-mile spine race outright, shattering records in the process. Now let's talk about a sport that requires incredible flexibility and precision: gymnastics. While men's and women's gymnastics are judged as separate sports with different apparatuses, it is undeniable that the unique physical attributes of female gymnasts allow for breathtaking displays of agility that are simply unmatched. Women generally have a lower center of gravity and greater flexibility, particularly in the hips and spine. This allows them to execute complex rotational skills on the balance beam and floor exercises with incredible grace and control. The balance beam is only 4 inches wide. The level of precision required is mind-boggling. And the combination of flexibility and a lower center of gravity gives female gymnasts a huge advantage in maintaining stability. Just think about Simone Biles, who has pushed the boundaries of what's possible in the sport, performing skills that no one else, male or female, has ever attempted in competition? Her ability to twist and flip through the air is a perfect demonstration of how female biomechanics can create athletic artistry that is truly in a class of its own. Another fascinating area is rock climbing, especially styles that require extreme flexibility and endurance. While raw upper body strength often an advantage for male climbers is important, it's not the only thing that gets you up the wall. Modern climbing is as much about technique, balance, and finger strength as it is about pull-ups. Women often excel in climbs that demand high levels of flexibility, like moves requiring wide hip-opening frogging positions or high steps. Their smaller frames and lighter weight can also be an advantage, as it means less mass to pull up the rock face. And they can often use smaller hand holds and foot holds that larger climbers can't. Female climbers like Ashima Shiraishi and Janja Garnbret have been at the forefront of the sport from a very young age, climbing some of the hardest routes in the world and often outclimbing their male counterparts. In competitive climbing, particularly in bouldering and lead, where problem solving and technique are key, we see women consistently performing at the absolute highest level. Finally, let's talk about target shooting. This might surprise you, but it's a sport where physical strength isn't the primary factor for success. Instead, it's about stability, fine motor control, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. Some studies suggest that women may have a natural advantage here. For one, a lower center of gravity can contribute to a more stable shooting stance. But the most interesting factor might be heart rate. On average, women have smaller hearts that beat faster than men's. However, during the critical moment between heartbeats, there's a longer pause. Shooters train to fire in this pause to maximize stability. A longer interval could, theoretically, provide a wider window for a perfectly steady shot. The sport has seen incredible female champions like Kim Rode, an American shooter who has won medals in 6 consecutive Olympic Games. Her consistency and longevity in the sport demonstrate that when it comes to precision and control, women can be the best in the world. It's a powerful reminder that athleticism isn't just about muscle. It's also about mental fortitude and physiological control. So, what does all this tell us? It shows that athletic performance is incredibly complex. There's no single definition of the ideal athletic body. Different sports demand different attributes, and female physiology, with its advantages in endurance, fuel efficiency, flexibility, and stability, is perfectly designed to dominate in some of the toughest athletic challenges imaginable. It's not about men versus women. It's about celebrating the unique strengths that different bodies bring to the world of sports. It's about recognizing that in the quest for human potential, there are many paths to greatness, and women are blazing trails in ways that are truly inspiring. What do you think? Are there other sports where you've seen women excel? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next one. See you in the next video.